And now, what is it that the nation today wants to know? The nation today wants to know what is the truth behind this farmers' protest. The nation also wants to know whether talks and protest can actually go hand in hand. The nation also wants to know whether violence can just be the means to justify whatever you might want. Now on your screens are pictures, and all these pictures tell a story. The Delhi Chalo March resumes today after talks with the government for a law guaranteeing MSP has hit another roadblock. Today, the protesters came almost fully prepared for a confrontation with the security personnel and the police. And I was just looking at the kind of vehicles they've specifically used. I'll tell you a little bit about them. Pokle machines with iron sheets, JCB with steel plates, tractor almost converted to trailers, hydraulic cranes, diggers. These are all images that you see on your screens, a lot of them donning gas masks, special goggles to protect themselves from the police. These protesters were also equipped to break any barricades. Now, these images, many would say, are concerning. They are frightening. The protesters were armed with sticks and shields to confront the police, kites to tackle drones, modified excavators, hydraulic cranes to clear any barricades in the way. The protesters have also brought in modified tractors, or black mambas as they are called, at the Punjab-Haryana border. Now, these modified tractors are also fitted with fans should a situation arise for the police to fire tear gas at the protesters. So what does all this indicate? Amidst all the massive protests that you have seen, the Delhi Chalo March by the farmers, what is the centre doing? The centre, remember, has held at least 4 rounds of conversation with the farmers. The centre today has also again made a fresh outreach. They say, we are willing to talk to you, come and speak to us. And in fact, the Union Agriculture Minister also earlier said that he is willing to have this round of conversation to placate them, and also to say that such kind of protests should not take place. Protests that kind of involve such vehicles which cause inconvenience. There has been a lot of security, remember, like I said, that has just been put out. But also significantly are reactions that have come in from multiple netas. Netas who will again be questioned whether they want to politicize what's going on. Now, the UBT MP, Sanjay Raut, in fact, he has questioned the government. Look at what he says. He says, is the government planning to do a Jallianwala Bagh at the border? Other opposition parties join the same bandwagon, and they say the government is completely oblivious to what the farmers really want. So a lot of fear-mongering and a lot of other comments that have come in both from the Aam Aadmi Party, also from the Congress, all laying the blame towards the government.
किसान की बात क्यों नहीं मानते? किसान की नाजायज किसान की मांग क्या है? किसान कह रहा है मेरी फसल का मेरे को पूरा दाम मिलना चाहिए कि नहीं मिलना चाहिए? मिलना चाहिए। उसकी बात क्यों नहीं मानते? किसान को ये क्यों करना पड़ रहा है?
किसानों को फीड स्टॉक की जरूरत नहीं है, किसानों को एमएसपी की जरूरत है। आप क्या किसानों को अपना गुलाम मान रहे हो? आप जालियनवाला बाग करने वाले हो क्या किसानों के बाद?
जितने भी हमारे बॉर्डर डिस्ट्रिक्ट है वहाँ पे बंदोबस्त किया है अपनी तरफ से, और एम्बुलेंसेस भी लगाई हैं हमने, पूरी तैयारी करी है हमने। बट फिर भी मैं एक बार अपील करता हूँ कि इसमें कम से कम जो है वायलेंस, कोई जो भी वायलेंट मीन्स है, चाहे वो प्लास्टिक पैलेट्स हों या प्लास्टिक बुलेट्स हों, उनका इस्तेमाल नहीं होना चाहिए।
The genuine demand of farmers on the MSP law is they are not ready to accept it. They are using forces to stop them, which is not acceptable.
And important to also hear what the BJP has to say. Now, the BJP says we are very, very serious about the entire issue and we continue to engage with the farmers.
देखिए, हमने पहले ही कहा, पार्टी किसानों के मांगों के बारे में बहुत संवेदनशील है और मंत्रीगण बात कर रहे हैं। बातचीत कई बार हुई है, तो इस बातचीत को होने दीजिए। मोदी सरकार का किसानों के विकास के लिए समर्पण बहुत क्लियर है और हमने कई बार इसी मंच से मैंने भी कहा है कि कितने बड़े काम हुए हैं किसानों के विकास के लिए।
And let's also quickly get you this breaking update right now that's breaking even as we report about what's going on during the farmers' movement. The miscreants have attacked the police by setting fire to paddy straw and also throwing chilies. In the midst of excessive smoke, Many farmers attacked the cops with spears and machetes. We are also given to understand a number of them have sustained injuries. Let's listen in to what we've heard.
के दौरान आज प्रदर्शनकारियों द्वारा दाता सिंह खनौरी बॉर्डर पर पुलिस कर्मियों को घेरकर पुलिस नाके के आसपास भारी मात्रा में पराली में मिर्च पाउडर डालकर आग लगा दी गई और पुलिस कर्मियों पर प्रदर्शनकारियों द्वारा भारी पथराव तथा लाठी गंडासे से भी हमला किया गया। इस हमले में लगभग 12 पुलिसकर्मी गंभीर रूप से घायल हुए हैं और इस जहरीले धुएं के कारण नाके के आसपास के क्षेत्र में पुलिस कर्मियों को सांस लेने में दिक्कत हुई और दिखने में भी भारी परेशानी का सामना हुआ। प्रदर्शनकारियों से यह अपील की जाती है कि वे ऐसा ना करें क्योंकि जहरीले धुएं से विजिबिलिटी कम हो जाती है और पुलिस कर्मियों द्वारा कानून व्यवस्था बनाए रखने का प्रयास न केवल बाधित होता है बल्कि ऐसा करने से दोनों पक्षों के लिए जोखिम बढ़ जाता है और किसी भी प्रकार की आकस्मिक दुर्घटना होने की संभावना बनी रहती है। हरियाणा पुलिस प्रदर्शनकारियों से ये अपील करती है कि वे कानून व्यवस्था बनाए रखने में हमारा सहयोग करें और शांति बनाए रखें। धन्यवाद।
So that is what you hear from the Haryana police. Now that's a big charge. I quickly want to get in our panel of guests that have been very patiently waiting as we've brought the entire story and what has happened through the day here. Good to have Ramnik Mann. He's a political analyst. He leans towards the BJP. He has some very, very strong opinion on what's going on vis-a-vis the protest. Prabhlot Singh is also a political analyst. He's also joining us along with Ashutosh Mishra, a senior journalist, leans towards the Congress. And Ravi Srivastava is a political analyst. He completes our panel, Ravi. And let's begin by asking you that when the Haryana police, Ravi, says that the protesting farmers, they surround the cops. And not just that, they also add chili powder to burning stubble. Is this a peaceful protest, Ravi? What justifies what's going on?
Deepti, first of all, you may be talking about some specific instance, but what I want to tell you is that if I believe the social media reports and some reliable sources, one farmer has lost his life today.
Ravi, I should just clarify this, that there has been no confirmation to that effect, and a lot of times, remember, Ravi, I just want to be, see, Ravi, what happens is that when you come on national television, you make a comment like that, this does provoke and this can escalate the situation, Ravi. So I must make this very clear for all our viewers watching, Ravi, and also for your information. The police still now says that there is no confirmation of any fatality yet, Ravi. So I please request you to please verify, cross-check facts, Ravi, before you put out this on national television, Ravi, please.
This is
Caution.
From the social media.
Social media, Ravi.
I don't have a confirmed report.
So, I mean, there is no point in wasting time talking on something that is not confirmed, Ravi. We can wait. You're not getting any brownie points. That's exactly why it's important to control this conversation, Ravi.
The sites on the borders is like Gaza Patti. Whom are you fighting with? What are we fighting for?
Is this a fight, Ravi? Is this a fight? Is this a war?
Is this the way the farmers are to be treated? Is this the way the government negotiates with the people? And you remember very well that 750 lives were lost in the farmer protest 1.0.
Now, okay, Ravi, Ramnik already wants to counter you, and I will also do that little fact check, Ravi. Ravi, 1 second. See, this is not a tu-tu-me-me game, Ravi. You don't get any extra brownie points by putting out facts that are unsubstantiated. That's very important, Ravi. Ravi, listen. On your screen, there are multiple images. Now, we saw pork-laid machines with iron sheets, JCBs with steel plates, tractor converted to trailers, hydraulic cranes, diggers. I mean, is there some preparation for a war? For God's sake, you're talking to the government. The government is reaching out to you as you're having these talks. Does this make sense?
It's the government which prepared for a war. It's the government which put up the nails on the road. It's the government which put up the concrete boulders on the road.
Okay.
It's the government which put up the walls on the road. Isn't that what the government has done?
Okay, Ramnik,
were they negotiating with the farmers?
Ravi blames the government. They say we have zero trust in the government, and this is the reason why the farmers have to be prepared.
No, listen. Now, let me first ask, how dare you, Ravi? How dare you, Ravi Srivastava, equate our farmers with Hamas? How can you equate the farmers with Hamas? When you say this is Gaza, then you are implying that these farmers are Hamas.
No, Ramnik,
Amazing this is.
Ramnik,
How dare you?
He might
You can't do that.
He might be wanting to
Ravi,
distract and digress this entire conversation, Ramnik, but let's only stick to facts. Ramnik.
We've heard you. Listen, Ravi. You
Okay,
can't do that.
let Ramnik respond, Ravi. One by one, please. One by one.
No,
Ramnik.
Ravi, this is not fair.
Ramnik goes, yes.
You think you have all the right to label or say anything to the farmers? कभी आप कुछ बोलेंगे, कभी आप हमास बोल दोगे आप. How dare you? Number one. Number two, well, these farmers, if they have any discussion with the government, there is a Guru Nanak's principle, एक सिद्धांत है गुरु नानक साहब का. गुरु नानक साहब कहते हैं, होए 71 मिलो मेरे भाई, दुविधा दूर करो लिव लाई. Let's sit down and discuss. Let's discuss any pending issues. Any reasonable demands can be discussed. But somebody, communist coming on a TV channel and calling our farmers Hamas or equating them with Hamas is not acceptable.
Absolutely
Just
not acceptable. So Ashutosh, before I also get in Prabloch for his first comments, Ashutosh, who do these set of farmers want to arm twist? If you have to reach out to the government is saying, come, we are again ready to talk to you. They've again, asked all these protesting farmers to come and sit across the talking table, Ashutosh. But why this arm twisting?
Deepti, you have to understand that the arm twisting here is by the Modi government. The same farmers had come 2 years ago and Narendra Modi had promised that their demands will be met. And that's why the farmers had lifted their protest. If you remember, at that time, elections were due in Uttar Pradesh. And that sort of made Narendra Modi a bit jittery. And just to save those elections, he made a promise which now he has failed to fulfill. The same person, as when he was the Gujarat Chief Minister, had no problem with the farmers getting MSP. But now they are coming up with every sort of excuse not to keep the promise that Narendra Modi had made to these farmers.
Ashutosh, you made a very interesting reference to the timing. Now, are you also then conceding what a lot of people have been saying, that all this is politically timed? This is not Kisan ke hit mein, this is only Modi ka virod, Ashutosh.
नहीं. The farmers understand, ये किसानों को मालूम है कि लातों के भूत बातों से नहीं मानते. पिछली बार जब इलेक्शन था,
देखिए आप सरकार से बात कर रहे हैं आशुतोष, और इस तरह की अगर भाषा का इस्तेमाल किया जाएगा, मतलब आप क्या ब्लैकमेल करेंगे? ठीक है, I think we'll head it if my team permits. Prabloch, why don't you make your opening comments for 30 seconds before we head into our first break? Prabloch, how do you see this entire situation?
Thank you, Deepti. I can tell you, and I can give it to you in writing, that history is going to remember the opposition as being absolutely irresponsible when it comes to these farmer protests. The opposition also has a responsibility and duty, and just, they think they can score some brownie points or they can shake the government a bit. They are just giving irresponsible statements without thinking about the repercussions. We are living in a civilized society, and there are means and modes through which farmers can get their concerns addressed. We do not have any compulsion to get into the kind of lawlessness that we are seeing. The opposition is to be blamed for being absolutely irresponsible. These are the first 30 seconds, I would like to...
Okay. And, Ravi and Ashutosh, what's also important is the kind of comments we've heard from a lot of political netas. This also does include Sanjay Raut, who says the government wants to do a Jallianwala Bagh. So, isn't it a fair question to ask that who's politicizing or fueling this fire on the other side of this very quick break? Ravi and Ashutosh, I'm going to come back to you and we'll find an answer to that question if you have. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. So the nation wants to know that such kind of dramatic images and such kind of protests, are they justified? Ravi, to you first. What justifies all this?
Deepti, my question is, the government has had ample of time to talk to the farmers. This has not happened instantaneously. They have been talking for last 2 months, 3 months.
So what will you do? You will blackmail, Ravi?
No, I'll not blackmail. What I'm saying is, why 4 rounds of talks have failed, why the Honorable Prime Minister is not talking to the farmers. I think he should jump on the situation and he should see to it that it gets resolved. Because he was the one who brought
Okay, so you shift the goalpost. You say the Prime Minister must talk. Ashutosh, you believe that this way there is really going to be a solution, or you believe that just because elections are out the corner, let's go out on the streets, ensure that, you know, the farmers all come out on the streets and we say this is a Kisan Virodhi Sarkar?
So this, what is happening here is, as I said earlier also, Narendra Modi only listens to other people when he has something to lose. As happened last time when there were elections in UP. This time there are Lok Sabha elections and the farmers know that he will lend them a year. And you were talking about Jallianwala.
So Ashutosh, this means you have politically timed them. You've politically timed them, Ramnik. I just don't have time, but I'll just say, do we need an iron fist approach to the lawlessness? Ramnik, just 5 seconds.
Okay, now for the lawlessness, I was with Hanan Mola on a different debate. He says, we 580 Jathebandis are not supporting these splinter groups because they are violent, number one.
I'll tell you something.
Number two, when you talk about Jallianwala, let's equate with 1984. What did the Congress do? In 2006, the Swaminathan report came out. There were 2 elections, 2009 and 2014. What did you do? You did nothing. You're not serious about farmers.
Okay, Ramnik, apologies, I've completely run out of time, but I think one thing is very clear, that this is politically timed, and clearly this way around, could there be a solution? I'll let our viewers decide, but thank you all, gentlemen, for joining us. We are heading into a break. On the other side, back with lots more.